In 1983, two wise men came up with an idea for a new sitcom. Their cunning plan was to have the new sitcom set in the Middle Ages, and so forth. This was to be known as Blackadder, and the rest was history. Then, in 2023, Baldrick found all the lost film and videotape. He then handed it all over to Richard Latto, who helped by his loyal subjects restored everything to produce a magnificent Blu Ray release. I can never say that word. Hello and welcome. In this video we'll be taking a look at the new Blackadder 40th Anniversary Blu Ray. This is the latest BBC sitcom to get a Blu Ray release. Last year I reviewed the Young Ones Blu Ray release, and the year before that the Only Fools and Horses Blu Ray. Links to those in the video description. Just to give you a bit of background for those who have not seen my previous sitcom Blu Ray videos, British sitcoms from this era were shot on a mixture of videotape and film. Typically, film was only used for the location shots, while all the studio recordings were made in SD on videotape. Now, the most common format for film used 16mm. This is roughly equivalent to 1080p HD resolution, while 35mm film is roughly equivalent to 4K. Blackadder used a mixture of all three. This means, like with previous BBC sitcom releases, not all the content is in native HD, more on that later. First, looking at the packaging, you get a sense of all the attention to detail that has gone into this release, with all the beautiful artwork and design of the box. Now, let's take a look at what we get. Well, it's probably easy to tell you what you don't get, and one notable item that is missing is the pilot, and there's a good reason for this, which is the creators didn't want it to be included. Now, as you may be aware, the pilot was shown for the first time this year on Gold as part of the 40th anniversary documentary. This is only allowed on the condition it was only shown twice, and not available on any catch-up or any other medium. That aside, the only other small things missing are some appearances on Children in Need and Comic Relief, and the Clown Court from Noel's Saturday Roadshow, which will be due to the material either not being available or licensing issues. Now, there are 7 Blu-ray discs. Disc 1 to 4 contains series 1 to 4. Disc 5 contains all of the specials, including the full unedited version of Blackadder's Christmas Carol for the first time ever on home release, so it's really good to see that included. Now, disc 6 contains Blackadder Rides Again, which is a documentary, and then disc 7 contains all the other bonus extra special features. Now, speaking of extras, there is a boatload of them, including brand new audio commentaries from Brian Blessed, John Lloyd, Miranda Richardson, Mandy Fletcher, Richard Bowden, and Chris Wadsworth. You also get studio recordings of Potato, Duel and Duality, Corporal Punishment, Cavalier Years, and Goodbye. If you're not familiar with what a studio recording means, essentially it is a raw recording of the episode being made, which means you get to see all of the bits before and after and in between takes. It's a great way of seeing the creative process when things don't quite go to plan. Now, there is also deleted and extended film scenes in native HD, also behind the scenes cine footage, photo gallery with original music score, vintage BBC promos and trailers of the show compiled and restored by Pip Madley, and Ye Old Cunning Clip Compendium, which is a 90-minute special selection of rare archival clips, and it is a treat. So yeah, you sure do get a lot of extras, which is a great thing about these physical releases, and you don't get with streaming services. Now, technical quality wise, aside from a few of the extras which are encoded in 576i50, everything else is presented in 1080i50 in the original aspect ratio, be it 4:3 or 16:9. Now, audio wise, everything is presented in DTS HD Master Audio 2.0, and subtitles also present for all the main content. Now, as I alluded to at the start, not all the content is in native HD. Series 1, better known as the Blackadder, contains quite a bit of native HD content, and that is due to the fact that there was a lot of on-location shooting which was done on a 16mm film, which luckily the majority has survived and has been lovingly restored. Now, this first series cost £1 million to make, which is a lot of money back in 1983, and the Emperor of the BBC did not like how much it cost. Therefore, if another series was to be made, the budget would need to be cut drastically. And that's what happened. And this result of which is for the remaining 3 series and most of the specials that followed was, with some small exceptions, a lot of it was therefore shot in the studio to save on budget. That means there's very little native HD content until we get to the back and forth special. There is some native HD film shots in Blackadder II, notably the opening titles, which were shot on 35mm film and look really good. One thing to note is that for things like end credits, these are upscaled SD, even though this, in Series 2 for example, they were shot on film. That is due to the enormous amount of work that it would be to recreate the graphics and credits in HD. Despite this, they have been included in as the original film shots on the bonus disc, which includes all the 6 unique end credit sequences for Series 2. The back and forth special, which was a co-production with Sky, was shot on 35mm film, and thanks to Richard Latto's dedication and persistence, managed to find the original negatives, and that means the whole special is now in native HD and 16:9 aspect ratio, and I tell you what, it looks fantastic. He's done a really good job on that. It should also be worth noting that with the back and forth special, there are actually 2 audio tracks. One that contains the laugh track and one that doesn't. So that means you can choose which one you want to watch or listen to. Again, another great bonus feature you get. And in terms of the native HD parts of this Blu-ray release, as per the previous sitcom release like The Young Ones and Only Fools and Horses, they do not disappoint. Both the 16mm and the 35mm film transfers just look amazing, both from a resolution perspective but also the colour grade as well that's been applied to them. So yet again, we see the care and attention that's gone into this Blu-ray release. Now, as usual, they have done a fantastic job upscaling the SD content as well, which obviously makes up the bulk of this release. It's not an easy task, and it's a difficult balancing act to get it right, because if anything like me, you can be a bit picky of how things are upscaled. There's different tastes as well. So in particular, the Blackadder Goes Forth, the BBC switched to using a different camera, and that did not work that well in low light. So the result is, in low light scenes, you'd be full of artifacts and other imperfections. Another example of where this can be seen is in the Doctor Who Ghostlight from the same year, 1989. For the Blackadder Goes Forth, the team have done a great job dealing with this tricky source material on the inferior camera used. The result is better than any previous DVD and broadcast release. Now, audio-wise, thanks to the DTS HD Master Audio stereo tracks that have been included, for the first time you're getting to hear Blackadder in studio lossless quality. And I tell you what, from what I've heard of it so far, it sounds amazing. In conclusion, this Blu-ray box set does not disappoint. And as with previous releases like The Young Ones and Only Fools and Horses, Richard and the team have done a fantastic job putting this release together. The pristine native HD content, tastefully upscaled SD content, and bags of extras make this a worthwhile upgrade and or purchase if you've never owned Blackadder before. The price that I paid at the time of review is $49.99. Now, that may seem a lot to some of you out there, But you've got to bear in mind the amount of content you're getting for your money here. And like I said, all the extras and everything like that, the fact you're getting, you know, parts of it in native HD, and the upscaled SD and the DTS HD master audio tracks, all that makes it good value for money in my book. So I'd like to thank Richard Latto and the whole team that made this Blu-ray possible. And let's hope there'll be more like this in the future. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next video. For now, I will leave you with some native HD scanned film shots from the end credit sequences in Series 2.